Alright, what's up guys? Welcome back to another Path of Exile 2 video. Here we are about to take on Cruel Jamanra with my Tri-Elemental, as I'm calling it, Tri-Elemental Smith of Kitava staff build. First off, if you don't mind hitting that subscribe button, really appreciate it. It helps me out. We're about at 1,400 subs now, getting real close. Next we're going to go for 1,500, so we'll go ahead and jump in. I already got my temper weapon up. Main thing I've added in is I've got charged staff up and running now, and that works with you know, the resonance and the combat frenzy abilities working together in conjunction. Not as strong as it used to be. Like, they increased kind of the time in between how often you can generate the charges, but I mean, really, it's not a huge deal. Like, it's kind of fine. I could probably, with a bit of investment, like picking that up and you know, increasing my maximum power charges, I think it would be just fine. Like, you know, pretty much 100% uptime, and it'd last maybe like a minute or so. So we're gonna go ahead and jump in the fight here and show you just how much damage this build is doing currently, and it's only gonna get crazier from here.
You'll find my king far more capable than Count Gianor.
We get a lot of freeze, we get a lot of shock, we get ignites. It's gonna get even crazier once we get a couple more ascendancy points and a few more levels.
Bow before your king.
The Americans do not bow to me. In there. Submit. You are finished.
So, kind of nice, like, in fights where there's little moments of downtime like this, you can, you know... Alright, how long are you going to do this for, dude? You can, you know, get your temper weapon back up, like, mid-fight.
For my people, the era of the Farragut is now.
Oh my gosh. This is, like, really annoying bug right now in the game, and I know it's not just me, because I've heard lots of people talk about it in global chat. Like, the game just basically locks up on you like this, and you get the gears. I just basically pause the game when it happens, because there's not really anything else you can do. And oh my gosh, and then it usually just gets like real choppy after it for a minute. Well, it's like, and some of the assets, like, oh my gosh, can't even tell what's happening. Like, really kind of annoying. When it's not like on a boss fight, it's not as big of a deal, but kind of frustrating on a boss fight. Alright, but as you can see, you can pretty quickly burn him down, or just like burn bosses down with this build. And I haven't even got the like stuff that's gonna make it really crazy yet, in my opinion anyways. So let me grab this stuff and I'll kind of cover where we're at for the build. Really frustrating that it gets all choppy like that when I'm trying to record on a boss fight. It doesn't always happen, but it just seems, you know, like GGG needs to fix whatever's happening there. So next up, we're, you know, the build is this so far. A lot of crit, basically, is what I've just picked up so far with this. Eventually, I'll pick up these as well. Very, you know, low investment for big damage with how this build works. Once I'm getting, like, more consistent with the ignites and the shocks, which it's going to happen fairly soon, probably will pick up, at, you know, some more like a power charge cluster. At least maybe one, possibly 2 or 3. We'll see. I'm more probably in this one down here as opposed to this one, just because the increased energy shield is, you know, more beneficial than just power charge duration. But we're gonna come up here, so just in a couple levels we'll pick these up. This is going to be big, so just 50% increased damage with hits against frozen enemies, and the freeze buildup, and more freeze buildup. And this is going to give frozen enemies, like, basically, I'll ignore their elemental resistance. And then we're going to come up here to these, and I'm going to pick up this. This, because it's, like, the only increased freeze duration node, I think, on the passive tree, and since we're already going to be up here, like, we may as well get it. And then we're also going to get this, just because a plus level of cold skills is like an all damage multiplier, which is good. And then we'll probably pick that up too, just because it's low investment, and having a little bit of, like, default cold penetration will help me get those additional freezes, which will then allow me to effectively ignore their elemental resistance. So I think on trash mobs, like, it's not really gonna do much because they're gonna die so fast anyways. But what it will do is when I'm fighting, like, a rare or boss enemy with the ignoring their resists. And then we're gonna come down here, I forgot to mention, pick these up and then get this. So 25% of cold is extra fire damage against frozen enemies. So just a lot of, that's going to be a lot of extra damage there in conjunction with ignoring their resistance. So as soon as we get a freeze, we'll just kind of, like, delete most enemies, I'm hoping, like, almost instantly. Because right now I have, like, no cold no exposure, no penetration. Just a lot of crit and, like, base damage. So once we're able to, like, ignore the resists, then it's gonna really get crazy. Like, I think the damage, at least while they're frozen, is gonna go up by, like, I would say on bosses and rares, at least, like, 50%, possibly more damage, maybe even higher against some of the, like, higher resist bosses. So that's going to get crazy. We'll go over here eventually, assuming I have enough points, and we're going to pick these up to get... this will probably be the last ascendancy node I pick up, so, like, not till, like, the late game. But right now it's not, you know, just having, like, capped resists is fine for survivability. But this will give us, you know, a couple more all max resist, so 3, so we'll be sitting at 78. And then I would like to craft this onto probably my amulet, and then we'll just try and stack a ton of, like, fire resist to get our all resist, like, up even a little bit higher. I'll probably look for jewels with plus, like, fire resist, max fire resist, and then that will also, you know, increase our elemental resistance. Not sure how far I'll try and push it. Like, the more, I think the more, like, resist I have, and then a good, like, evasion and energy shield pool, that should be enough survivability in conjunction with, like, the freeze and stuff. The only thing that I'm not 100% sure on is, like, what I want to do ultimately with like my spirit usage, because like I think I have to use the frenzy, combat frenzy, which is only a 30-point investment, so that's not too bad. And then I really think that like Wind Dancer is also really good, so that's another 30, so we're at like 60 points there. And then we'll get another 40. So I think to get like the last little thing I would like to squeeze out would be, I forget what it's called. This one. So it'll just kind of like shift between each element and then give you like a huge like more multiplier with that element. So I would like to get that. It's 100 spirit though. So I'd have to get a chest piece with, you know, at least probably like whatever the 50 to 60, like I forget what the max you can get on a chest piece is, but I'll have to get an additional like 60 spirit in order to run Elemental Conflux, Wind Dancer, and Combat Frenzy. So hopefully I can achieve that like with the gear. I don't know if there's anything on the tree that actually like does anything for spirit, which is kind of shocking. I guess there's a little bit here. What is presence? Oh, so it just increases like the size. So I guess I could pick up a little bit more spirit here. It looks like 10% more. Whether that's like actually worth it though for my current build, probably not. I would probably just try and get it on gear. It's just kind of surprising, like in PoE 1 there was a lot for like mana reservation nodes, and then to see that there's really only like one thing in PoE 2 on the passive tree is a little surprising. I'm sure I can get 60 spirit from gear. It just, you know, it kind of sucks to have to do that, because then you're like sort of locked into that gear without, you know, any upgrades would be a little more difficult to come by, because you've got to have the spirit on it plus like whatever other stats you're looking for. So that's where the build's at though, guys. Hope you're enjoying it so far. Like, here's how much health I have. I'm still using like, I think I bought this upgrade off the shop. So it's like not even like a crazy weapon or anything really. Like it's actually like I could probably buy an upgrade if I wanted to. I'll just show you the gear real quick. So most of this I've like found or bought off the shop. The only thing that I purchased, I bought this chest piece for 1 exalt. And I think I bought these boots for 1 exalt like in towards the end of normal difficulty, just to get, you know, the 25% move speed basically. I'm still using this like level 10 blue ring. I kind of even forgot, and then I crafted this amulet. Like I think I found it with 96 all life, and then I augmented it and it got like 16 all attributes, so I went ahead and regaled it and it got the 29 mana. Probably not going to do anything else with it, but it's definitely like a pretty solid leveling amulet, so I'll just like throw it in the stash when I'm done. I found this ring like early on in my playthrough, and again, it's probably a good like leveling ring. I just found this belt. I'm hoping that they add that like thing soon where they increase the charm slots based off like the level of the belt. Like to me, like that was intuitively how I assumed it was going to work, like from the get-go. And for the charm slots to actually be a mod on the item, and an incredibly rare mod at that, was just kind of shocking to me, because of how like you used to be able to have what, like 5 potions in PoE 1, five or 6. You could then, you know, modify all of them to deal with like certain negative things like freeze, shock, ignite, bleed, corrupted blood, etc., etc. And then you had all these other flasks too that gave you like flat defenses, like resists or max resist or armor, evasion, whatever. So to be so limited on your defensive options to just like one, like probably I would say 90% or more of characters are just have been limited to one charm slot, so you can only basically deal with like one thing, which right now I've got bleeding because I have no armor and not a lot of life regen. So if I get like bled, I'm pretty much dead. So I've had to use this because otherwise like I die if I get hit with bleeding. Because again, like I have like basically zero armor. The only armor I have is from this belt. So bleeding is like a hugely negative thing for my character. But yeah, so that's where the build's at, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you're enjoying it so far. And remember to give them the D.